Kalidas here. Talk a little bit today about yoga for happiness. So it kind of depends on what makes you not so happy. Trying to get past that situation, getting your mind right, that's a big part of it, of course. But short of that, let's start with something incredibly simple that will work most of the time, and that is to smile. Just take a moment, just sit there and smile. And notice how your mood changes just with a smile. Now, I know this isn't going to affect everyone the same. It's not going to happen all the time. But most of the time it will. So start with a smile. Another thing you can do is be around people. Being around people can make you happy, even if you're in a crowd. But ideally it would be with friends, family. And so you're going to be with people. Now, yoga means union. And union is usually, in terms of yoga, is assumed to be with the self and with all of nature, the divine. But that's what these other people are. That is part of that divinity. That's part of everything else. So self and other is really what yoga is about. So being with these others, that is yoga. Okay, so that's your next possibility for finding some happiness. Now, short of that, if you came here obviously to find some poses that would help you, and so I'm going to show you an unusual technique. And this technique is best done in lotus. That's where you wrap your feet all up in the traditional twisted pretzel pose that is considered to be yoga pose, is a yoga posture. But that's not possible for everyone to do. So if you're doing lotus though, it doesn't really matter which foot's on top. They are different poses. Lotus is generally considered with the left foot on top. But like I said, it doesn't matter. And then you would palm the hands one on top of the other. And so whichever foot is on top, that hand is on top. Okay, so that's the left hand on top, left foot on top. And the hands rest here a little off center. It's not right in the crook. Unless you get a really nice tight lotus, you can, yeah, there you go, right in the center. And the hands just rest there. Okay, the thumbs in. Okay, now short of that, if you're doing this in just easy pose, that's just cross-legged, then it's the back of the wrists on the knees, and you can have palms open. For most people, that's going to be better. Some people like to do the thumb and the middle finger together. Others like the thumb and the forefinger together. Now, what I suggest is just what feels right, whatever is right for you. For me right now, palms open feels right. It's just how I feel. So try all three and see which one you like. And that's the best one for you, okay? So, of course, again, you'd like to smile, and doing these poses, it might help. But it's not necessary, of course, for doing the poses. Now, this technique is very unusual. We're going to be holding an exhale. We're going to hold the air out of the lungs. Okay, so usually we hold an inhale. We're going to hold an exhale. Can hold the air out. Empty lungs. Okay, so to do that, though, we'll start with the nice deep breath. Get your body fully oxygenated so that you can hold that exhale. Yeah, well, if there's anything else to talk about, I'll do that after the first demonstration. Okay, so just deep inhale. Don't hold, just exhale. Blow all the air out. Squeeze that last little bit out when you get to the bottom. I'm not holding it quite as long as I normally can, but you'll need to take a couple of catch-up breaths. Part of why I didn't hold it in my full time. Wanted to be able to talk to you. So just take a couple of breaths to normalize, whatever that takes for you. Now, you may have noticed that when you blow that air out, you need to kind of lock up in your throat there a little bit. That's appropriate. That's what you want to do. You want to hold that. And then your mind kind of goes quiet usually closer to the end of the time when you can hold that. So you can hold it this amount of time, maybe this much left is when you can start to hold that, when your mind will start to clear. And then right when you get very, very close to the end of your hold, your mind will be it'll be a blank. I mean, it's just one of the few techniques I know of that really blanks the mind, just really completely empties it. Okay, so let's try that again. In this case, I'm taking an inhale and an exhale before I do my first breath. So that's always a good idea too. Just to make sure, you know, your body's fully oxygenated, hold that exhale as long as possible. Okay, so deep inhale, exhale, deep inhale. Exhale. Remember, you're going to squeeze that last bit out when you get to the bottom. A deep breath to release and come back to normal. A couple of normalizing breaths. Now there's another part to this. This is an energizing technique, and I'll show this again on some of my videos for energizing, because this is one of the best energizing techniques. But changing your energy changes your mood. So when you're trying to be happy, or when you want to be happy. We're not trying to be happy. We're going to be happy. Okay? So when you're going to be happy, you change your activities. You change your breath. You change your movement. If you're sitting around, lying in bed, maybe you're depressed. If you get up and go for a walk or clean the house or do the dishes, anything at all, or sort through your closet, whatever activity or participate in your hobby. Maybe you like to build things, so you just start doing something. Whatever you do, doing things will change your mood. Okay, so will changing your breathing practices, your breathing habits, and changing your energy will change your mood too. Now, a quick reflex. One thing I didn't mention is this technique can make you yawn. That's a really good energy changer as well. You can actually induce a yawn. So you can, any of these things that changes your energy will change your mood. Okay, so let's see, anything else to say about that? Oh, right, wanted to get into the locks. Okay, now this is advanced stuff. This breathing technique, this is advanced, and you would only want to do this on lower chakra poses. So this is my belly button. So any of the energy centers from the belly button down, the first three energy centers, any of those poses that activate that. And lotus, I can activate any of them, but we're focusing on the lower in this case. So lotus is a well-rounded pose, and when you're doing the holding the exhale, it will automatically start to activate the root chakra, especially the bottom, the very first chakra. So when that happens, though, sometimes the locks can occur, and actually you can induce them. And when you induce them, the holding the exhale will cause it to really intensify. So the locks are squeezing your genital anal area in and up. That's a Kegel. For a lot of ladies know the Kegel exercise. Kegling is good for men too. So that contraction is one lock. The other lock is the diaphragm lock. It's called the flying up lock. And that's when the belly is drawn in very strongly towards the spine. And then the throat lock, where this throat area you might actually see it in the video when I do it, and in a moment it'll contract in. But also when that throat lock occurs, a lot of times the chin will go to the chest. Just spontaneously. These are spontaneous movements that occur and actions that happen when you do this type of breathing practice. So if any of those spontaneous things happen, if your hands, arms want to change, move around, you want to go into a different mudra, you change to one of the other mudras, or any of them really. I mean, just allowing the mudras to flow is very energy changing as well. Okay, so let's try that. We're going to take that exhale again, and this time though we're going to contract, especially that lower lock. That's the first one. That is the most likely one to get fully activated. So especially if you're first trying this out. Okay, so just to get to normal for me, deep inhale, exhale it all out, and then hold the exhale. I need a couple of breaths there because the energy kind of really got going in me. So perhaps that energy really got going in you too. You can try this a couple of more times. I don't recommend doing it more than 5, maybe 10 times when you first start. Probably keep it to 5. You'll feel a little lightheaded perhaps. This is the energy, the prana, the life energy starting to flow in your body. And that flow of energy is what will bring happiness. So there, ergo, happiness yoga, the breathing practice is primary for that, in my view. Now I know there's a lot of others, and maybe I'll make another video sometime on yoga for happiness where we do poses. But for today, I wanted to just mainly talk about things that can really actually affect your mood very, very nicely and very simply. And these are the ones that I highly, highly recommend. Yeah, just be around happy people. I'm happy if you want to call me or contact me. If you contact me, I'll call you if you like. Just comment on the video or go to kalidasa.com. I'm trying some software out here. You should be seeing that here now. And if that's working, then that's the spelling is KALIDASA.com. That's my website for yoga. And leave a comment. There's a comment tab. It's not working at the moment, but it will be soon. You can always leave a comment in the comment section of the video as well if you like. That'll get to me as well. But once I get that comment tab fixed, you'll be able to send me an email. And that comes direct to my regular email. I'll respond to it from there, so you'll have my regular email. You'll be able to reach me anytime. Okay, so thank you. I think that's all for today, and or at least for now. And you have a great day. Namaste, and be happy.